time I can really make eating videos is when I'm home during the day by myself, which isn't very often. But I'll do when I can. Welcome to the Left Coast. Tonight I've got a eating video that I'm kind of excited about. I picked up some street tacos from a place called Bar Burrito. Yeah, comes with chips and salsa. And I grabbed a Dr. Pepper from the fridge because all they have there is Diet Coke, and I didn't want Diet Coke, so. I've also got a stack of books here that I've been reading or about to read that I thought I'd talk about, so let's get into it. There they are. So I got pulled pork, street tacos. Now, it's kind of hard to see them in the box here, and they're kind of hard to eat in the box, so I got a plate. So let me just put these on a plate. See if I can take the cardboard holder and just do it all, maybe without making a mess. There we go. There they are. I guess I should just take the cardboard off. It's not really helping anybody. So that's what they look like. They're all falling apart now. But yeah, pulled pork, lettuce, tomato, salsa, corn, and then a little bit of sour cream and a little bit of what they call burrito sauce. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's good on the burritos. It's good on the tacos. And it's a corn taco shell. So, anyway, cheers. So good. Oh, they're drippy. I enjoy making the eating videos, but just the way that my schedule works, I don't typically record until, late at night. And I don't want to be eating late at night, so the only time I can really make eating videos is when I'm home during the day by myself, which isn't very often. But I'll do when I can. They asked me if I wanted a bag, and I said no because I thought it's just one box and a couple things, but I didn't take the bag, and that's usually where you get the napkins, so I didn't get any napkins. The cat and the dog are communicating. I might have to go take care of that as soon as I finish this bite. Okay, I guess you can see the cat there on her tower. So let's get into these chips, and I gotta open that Dr. Pepper. At least that's what they say they are. They're fresh made in an A store. Anyway, it comes with some salsa. Let's just open it over there, so hopefully it's not too loud. Okay. I want to talk about some of the books that I've been reading and I'm about to read, but I don't want to get taco sauce all over the book, so I gotta finish eating the tacos first and then we'll talk about it. It's 3 tacos with chips is like a perfect lunch size. It's not too much food, but it's enough food. Recently I noticed, recently like a year and a half ago, I discovered that I wasn't sleeping very well, and I was also watching YouTube right until the moment I fell asleep. Which sounds good. And it was nice. I would watch ASMR, watch all kinds of stuff to fall asleep. But the problem was that I wasn't sleeping. And then my phone would be plugged in like 10 inches from my head. So if you know anything about electrical interference, it can mess with your sleeping. So I thought I'd try an experiment. I started charging my phone in my office, in here actually. And so I couldn't watch stuff before I went to bed. And I started reading books at night instead. And within the first week, my sleeping improved. So, that's what I've been doing. I gotta go back and forth. Every once in a while, I'll give in and, watch YouTube or watch ASMR or whatever. But usually I only will let myself do that on the weekends. It depends. If I'm in a good book, sometimes I just want to go to bed early so I can read. Okay. Last taco, and then we can start talking about the different books. I don't know if you have a bar burrito in your area. They're new around here. It's only been there maybe a year. But there's a couple of them where I live already. It must be a chain, but I don't know. I don't know what the origin of it is. This one's really drippy. Since they didn't give me any napkins, a Kleenex will have to do. That was excellent. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying with reading, so I started reading before bed, and it's been really good. Sometimes, I'm exhausted, and if I can get 10 pages, that's great. Other times, I'll go to bed early so I can read for a while, and, if I can read 40 or 50 pages a night, I'm happy. I'm not a very quick reader, never have been. That's okay. Some of these people online that are like, oh yeah, I read, 9 books or 11 books or something in this month. That's just not, I don't read that fast. To be honest, I don't have enough time. If I had to read 11 books or 12 books in a month, I'd have to go to bed at 6 o'clock and read till midnight. Well, maybe not that extreme, but I'm definitely not a speed reader. And like I said, there's a lot of nights where, 10, 15 pages and I can't keep my eyes open. Well, let's put these aside. I'm still gonna have some, but excuse me. Put them aside. So the first book is a book that I got for Christmas this year. Neil Gaiman, Norse Mythology. I really enjoyed this book, and you'll see how much I enjoyed it in a second. It was my first Neil Gaiman book. I know I'm way late to the party. Fantasy is not really something I would have gravitated to before. But I keep seeing it recommended, and I wanted to give it a try. And I know Neil Gaiman is, one of the prolific writers. I 2017-ish, I think. I might be completely wrong. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It's a retelling of the Norse gods, so like Odin and Thor and Loki. Not like Marvel, like the actual mythology stories that Marvel is based off of. So, yeah, that was an excellent book. If you are at all interested in fantasy and you haven't read this book yet, I recommend it. It's, I wouldn't say it's a super quick read, but I read it in less than a week. I read it over the Christmas break. Yeah, quite enjoyed that one. These chips are so good. So after I read that one, I had to go back to Neil Gaiman and picked up Coraline. I didn't know anything about this book. I just was at the bookstore and I was almost finished reading the Norse Mythology book, and I thought, well, let's check out what else he has. So I found this. It's quick. It's only 150 odd pages. Read this in a few sittings. I really enjoyed it. It's really good. It's about It's about a girl who finds a hidden door in her house, hidden passageway, I guess you could say, that leads somewhere else. I'm not going to spoil it. And kind of what happens with all that. So that was really good. If you're looking for like a one night or a couple of night quick Neil Gaiman read, that's a good one. So then while I was reading those, I also sometimes I jokingly say double fisting books. I like to read, two at once sometimes, or I'll alternate. But usually when I do that, I try not to mix genres. So I'm not going to read two fantasy books at the same time because it's too easy to confuse, to get mixed up in the stories. So usually I'll try and do like a fiction and then a non-fiction book. So while I was reading those, I also had Apollo 8 on the go, which is about, the actual Apollo 8 mission to mission to the moon. And I guess you can see I'm not too far in. My Powell's bookstore bookmark that I got when we went to Powell's a few years ago. If you live near Portland and you're ever in Portland, I definitely recommend Powell's. It is the biggest bookstore I have ever been to. I think it's the biggest bookstore in the United States. Maybe in North America, I don't know. It's like a full square city block. The place is huge. And it's like all independent bookstore. It's really cool. Anyway, so I've been reading this kind of off and on. I got really into the Neil Gaiman books, so I haven't been reading this one as much, but I need to get back into that. I only got a few chips left. I don't normally like salsa, this kind of salsa, that much. I'm not a big fan of onions, and I don't like cilantro. But this is really good, I think, because it's like pureed. The onion is so small, I don't really notice it. And I don't notice that much cilantro. So, but yeah, I really like this salsa. So, continuing on the Neil Gaiman kick, after I finished Coraline, I started another Neil Gaiman book, which I just finished a couple days ago. That I think a lot of you may have heard of. American Gods. It's really well written. And, yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It is now a TV show. I haven't seen the TV show. I might check it out. Based on the book, it's going to be a weird TV show. I know that. So, I'm curious to see, like, how much of the book will bleed into the show and how much they'll gloss over and how much they'll show. So, yeah, so I just finished that. And I got one chip left. So, lastly, what I'm reading next, since I've read so many Neil Gaiman books, I thought I should switch to something else. So, I'm going to sci-fi, the highly recommended Leviathan Wakes of the Expanse series. So, this book's really thick. I don't know, 500 and almost 600 pages, I think. Let's see. 560 pages. I'm excited about this book. I've always been into sci-fi. I'm a Star Trek guy. I like the sci-fi, the science fiction. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get into this book. And I haven't started it yet because I finished American Gods a couple days ago. And then I've been trying to make a dent in Apollo 8 before I crack this guy. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. And I know that there's, I don't know how many books, 5 or 6 books in the Expanse series. So, I see on the back there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. Wow. You can see them across the bottom there. 8 books. So, this could be a start of something really good, hopefully. And, we'll see how that goes. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Leviathan. Anyway. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at with the reading. And, I'm sleeping much better, so that's always good. So, as the whispers fade, let relaxation sink in. And until next time, good night.